Hello, everyone. My name is Troy Parkins, and I am the marketing director for Triton Leadership Coaching. And I have sitting right next to me, Triton partner, creator of, well, you create a lot, but creator of Quantum Juniors, that's a juniors teen training, creator of a women's empowerment training, captain of Triton's efforts in Latin America, like all over Latin America, the amazing, wonderful Anna Monroy. Welcome.
Thank
And
you.
I might also throw in a very, very knowledgeable person when it comes to al pastor tacos.
Yeah, very Mexican with al pastor taquitos. Thank you for that amazing introduction, my friend Troy. I'm happy to be here and to have this space to share and contribute. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Please give our viewers a background of you. You've been in the transformational space for quite some time, and you're very young. You're a trainer. Please share with us your background.
Great. Yes. Well, I'm Mexican. Yeah. When I was 15 years old, I created a training for teenagers. When I was 12, that was my first introduction with transformation. I remember my parents were taking the leadership program, and somehow they created something for teenagers. So I went to that training. It was pretty amazing. I love it. But when I was 15, somehow I just have the vision of creating a new quantum training for teenagers. So I launched it when I was 15, and it's been almost 10 years that I created that training. It's been an amazing journey. I have the blessing to share this training with a lot of teenagers all around the world. Something really funny is that I'm Mexican and I don't work here in Mexico. The first job that I got out of Mexico was Colombia, another place that I absolutely love. Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, some places on the States too, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, parts of Europe too. And if this year everything turns well, we're going to Africa with this training. So we're really blessed of the opportunity to share this quantum training with the teenagers. That it's obviously that we already said as adults that this is the new generation. You know, the teenagers are going to change the world, but nobody really care about them in a specific way for them to create transformation and a quantum leap on the teenager age, you know? So it's been almost 10 years, a lot of teenagers, I would say, I don't know, like thousands. So it's amazing.
That's
also
amazing.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool because now we have like this program of teenagers that already leave their training with me, and now they are moving all around the world to be a staff in another places. So this is not just a training for the weekend. This is a program of leadership for years. Many of them have been with me like for 5 or 6 years. They've been traveling, creating business, generating money, contributing to the service of the community. So they are amazing. They are like quantum leaders all around the world, and I love them all. When I was working on the Dominican Republic, I started feeling this necessity to create something for the parents too, you know, because yeah, of course, education and transformation and everything that you want to create, it starts at home, no, with the parents. But I was in the Dominican Republic and I came back to Mexico with a great idea about training moms. First of all, it was training moms. So training moms to how to handle being a mom, to being a mother, to be a friend, a daughter, a sister, you know, this multitask that we are always trying to to get well, you know, like handling everything okay. So this multitask idea create something that it was just an idea first. It was I remember I was just like typing in my computer, just an idea. And then it came like a beautiful training about connecting with your inner beauty connected with this feminine part that somehow we just lost it, in this society. We lost it. And I launched it on September last year, and it's been amazing. Colombia, Ecuador already have this training, and it's been also really, for me, it's a possibility to start always learning something new, like learning and continue learning. So yeah, so the Quantum Juniors is my baby. Then this training for women and women empowerment is something that I'm really committed right now. And I have another type of company. I do coaching one-to-one. I have been working with the government here in Mexico. I've been working with private companies too. So I'm really blessed of sharing the transformation in different types of areas, with the government, with teenagers, with parents, with moms. And just my commitment is always to serve humanity. And I'm really happy to call that my job, because it's my purpose of life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And we are so happy to have you with Triton, because you're able to bring these ideas, you're able to bring these powerful trainings to us, and really, we all support you in that, and you're supporting us, and we're creating a gigantic win-win throughout the world. And I love what you're saying, like you're creating all these quantum leaders around the world. That's impressive. You actually just brought this up. You said you were training government people, teens, women, moms, different people in different sectors.
Yeah.
What do you see as the biggest difference? Let's talk about the teens. Between the teen training, how they are coming into the whole space of transformation versus, say, adults who have been living life for years and then they're coming into the world of transformation. What is the key difference that you see?
Yeah, well, it's a really interesting question, because a lot of people ask me that, because I'm also a trainer for adults in the basic and advanced and the leadership program too. I got certified as a trainer for adults too. And I would say that sometimes it's more difficult to train adults. It's just many years practicing the same conversations, living in the same reality. So sometimes it's harder for them just to shift. It's harder, no? In the other side, we have teenagers that they are like in this really strange curve and wave about life going on, because I receive teenagers from 12 to 17 years old. So that's in a specific age between high school, middle school, when they start deciding what to do with their lives. And it's really important for them just to be conscious and to have responsibility about their lives. Sometimes I have the kids here and the parents here, and I've been training families also, parents, mom, dads, and the son or the daughter. And it's pretty amazing to see how just the family works. So it's just my job to see how can I serve them. And I know sometimes adults are more responsible about their actions, their commitments, the results they have in their lives, no? But also the teenagers are in the best age to decide. So I would say it's more difficult to train teenagers, yes, because a lot of energy required, a lot of patience.
I think they know everything too, right?
Yeah, a lot of patience, a lot of energy, a lot of compassion too, because one of the things we've created on the Quantum Juniors is that we are all teenagers there. All the staff, all the group of office, the coordinators, everybody is younger than 30 years old, I would say. So we have like this amazing community of people that also have the compassion to feel and to understand what the teenager is feeling right now. Not to say that the adults wouldn't be compassionate about what they are feeling right now, but just to assimilate, like when you were a teenager, it was a different reality than being a teenager right now. Just because we have access to this thing, and it's sometimes dangerous. So,
yeah, I feel ripped off that I didn't have access to this when I was a teenager, because that would have been so cool.
Super cool, yeah. So sometimes it's pretty a great technology to great new possibilities, but sometimes it could be dangerous too, no? So having the responsibility to take care of the teenagers right now and educate them to be the new generation of the future, and just to be humans, you know, and create humanity in this world, it requires a lot of patience and compassion. So I would say that's the difference. Sometimes it's harder to create the breakdowns of transformation with the adults, but it's more difficult to have the attention of them. The attention of the teenagers is always like, you know? So having the attention of them, it's amazing. Now I would say we are all friends. We're all together in this. We are a big community. Now they call me and they're like, Anna, I have a problem. Hey, Anna, I just broke with my girlfriend. I need I need coaching. Now we're friends.
Yeah. You can launch a service called Ask Anna. Ask Anna. So here's a great question for you then. You've worked with a lot of teens and I guess we could call them the Generation Z generation. What is your take on Generation Z? What do you see for them? What are the possibilities there?
Well, I would say that, it's something really amazing to see the different type of generation we could have in just one room. As I said, we could have like the parents, we could have like the staff, myself, that I'm 23 years old. So I'm like millennial and I don't know what else. And
You're
we
on
have
the
like,
cusp.
yeah.
You're a Gen Z millennial cusp. You're like the glue in the middle.
And I never, and just between you and me and everybody that's watching this, I never felt like I was like in this generation, you know? I always felt like I was older, my friends were older, and I never felt like this was my generation, but now I appreciate it. Now I see why the universe sent me right now, you know? But with this new generation that's coming, I would say that these kids right now, these teenagers are going to create something real amazing, like the big breakthrough that we are all waiting for. It's going to be the part of them that they're going to live. They are going to create that breakthrough that we are going to live. So our granddaughters, our generation of my generation being grandparents, it's going to be amazing, because those kids are going to start creating this new consciousness and the awakening of consciousness all around the world. We've been creating with adults, and right now we've creating this conversation about being one and not being separated, and to be living as one in the world. But we have not access fully to that because we are still separated, and that's because our parents and our grandparents and all the generation continuously, like, they were on this reality about being separated. So the new possibility I see for these kids is they're going to be, first of all, they're going to be chasing their dreams fully. They're not going to be like, well, I need to work in this, or I need to go to college for this because my parents said. No, they're going to be more free than our parents, for sure. They're going to have this new distinction about freedom that we're going to love. Second, they're going to be like all around the world. They're going to be traveling and having different type of works. A lot of new professionals are coming up for them too, no? And the third, I would say that this is the generation that would create the new land, the new era, because it's not like right now, what's happening right now in the world, like with this virus and everything. This is all attention for us to look around and to see what can create, what's new for us, what's going to be the new reality and the new world that we're going to give these kids. So they're in charge of creating sustainability of the new era. I think that requires a lot of responsibility. So that's why right now I feel like this team needs to grow for sure. Like, I need more people committed to this, not because of me, because of all the teenagers that are coming, for all the things that are coming up for the world too, and this is a specific year, I've said, for most trainers to also see the possibility to be training teenagers too. This is a really big field that it's like we need to work on that urgently.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we here at Triton agree too. it's very important that the new generation does get these, open their minds to possibilities, and it isn't that, they're in a training room when they're 35 years old already and jaded and bitter and angry, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they are coming at it. So I love what you're saying. So what I'm hearing you say is this generation is not only set up because they're pretty skilled technology, but from what you're witnessing in the training room, what you're witnessing as these quantum leaders go out into the world, that they are actually connecting and communicating. So can you talk more through that? Because I read a lot of articles here online where they say that Generation Z, they have difficulty connecting, but I'm hearing that it is happening. So can you just talk through that a bit?
Yeah, I remember that when the millennials were like the boom generation, they would say like we wouldn't have like this type of like ordinary jobs, like we wouldn't be able to be in an office working 8-10 hours a day, because it's not our way to live, no. So this new generation also, I think they are struggling a lot. I would say like they have a lot of difficulties right now. Yes, technology is something really amazing for them. As I said, it's also dangerous having a lot of information in their hand and not having the responsibility or the the responsibility of taking care of the communication or the information they could have. It could be dangerous, no? But another struggle I see is that these people is like these teenagers could be lazy, because they have everything like here, like if you
Everything
want
at their
food,
fingertips.
yeah, food,
Google.
Uber Eats, Rappi. Do you need something? Wikipedia. A video, YouTube. A song, Spotify. So this is a generation that has to work a lot and moving themselves, like moving physically, because they're going to be lazy if they don't move. And you're going to see that, like in the future, they're going to be lazy. Do you remember the Wall-E, the Wall-E
Yeah,
movie?
the
They
Wall-E
were like
movie.
in the, like that.
They're all in their contraptions floating around,
Yeah.
looking at the TV,
Yeah.
and they're all big and fat.
Big and fat, and we don't want that. So yeah, the struggle is, it's big for them because they would have to work a lot and they're not used to work a lot. But this is a new generation that the possibility they had is to create a new way to communicate and a new way to relate, because somehow this is the generation that most uses social media. So they meet people in Instagram, in Facebook, they chat all the time. They are creating a new type of creating relations by the social media. What's the next step to that? Well, they need to create it in real life and they have to communicate in real life. And the problem is not just technology and being far. I would say that the problem is sometimes not feeling part of the generation, not feeling okay, not feeling part, these self-esteem problems that they could have, they're big. So in Quantum Juniors, what we handle a lot is be part of something. You are the most important part of that something and you matter. So if the people start seeing their value as teenagers, as humans, they would start creating a new generation of people that really care about other people, not just people that like your pictures or emoticons on Instagram, or they just give you a like or unfollow or whatever, because we are used to that also.
Yeah.
This new generation that we are creating, that, as I told you, I don't know the exact number, but I would say thousands now are communicating all around the world. We have teenagers from Ecuador and Colombia communicating. We have Mexico going to Dominican Republic, Dominicanos going to the States. We have everything. We have a new way of traveling and communicating. And now these teenagers are like the biggest teachers I would have, because they start creating conversations with people they don't even like knew, and then they become friends, and now there's a big community. They enroll into the new vision of Quantum Juniors, and now they are part of this. So I think being part of something would give you identity in a way, but you don't want to be part of something that doesn't fit you in a way. You don't want to be part of this horrible social media with awful conversations about beauty and awful conversations about addiction and bullying. You don't want to be part of that. You want to be part of the difference. So this is the difference for us.
That's incredible. And what you're saying aligns to everything that we're doing here in Triton. That,
yeah.
you know, with the whole virus outbreak and really we get to now rely on what we're doing right here. And we've come from this place first. I know that we shifted and we pivoted to create connection via this screen right here, right? To create connection via this, right? You're in Mexico. Michelle's in New York. Jang's, you know, he's only like 20 miles away from me, but here in Los Angeles, that's like a world away, right? John's up there in Northern California. So we've created connection via this. So the fact of what you're saying with these quantum juniors and the leaders are going out there, that's incredible. They're creating this, this global village, so to speak. Back in the 60s, a man by the name of Marshall McLuhan came up with this concept of global village, that as technology increases, that we're able to reach out and connect with people in Ecuador, in, you know, Shanghai, in Australia, Europe, wherever, that the actual world community is shrinking. And I'm hearing that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, totally. Totally, because one of the things that I never imagined, like this is from the bottom of my heart, I never imagined that when I created this training, it would be so big as it is right now. I wouldn't imagine that. It was just for fun. At the beginning, it was just someone asked me and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then it was like my baby and I needed to take care of my baby. So I feel, a lot of responsibility of taking care in a professional and in a really good way of how I work with them. They're teenagers also. They are not adults. So we have to be careful on how we talk to them, on how we work with them. And I've seen amazing miracles going on. I've seen teenagers going out of the street and going to rehab to clean their bodies of drugs or addictions. I've been, I don't know, I have like many teenagers that they create new businesses. We have a lot of different stories. So yes, we're glad. And this is also like a new invitation for everybody to just come, to Triton, to come with us, to see how we work, to see how we can serve you, because that's our purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we're in the business that we're in, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we love doing it. I know. I see it. Yeah, it's great. So, Anna, I love to end these interviews with interesting, zany questions. So, the first one really isn't too zany, but I know you've done a lot of traveling. I just want a ballpark number of how many countries you've been to. Just ballpark.
Well, I have the number exactly.
Exactly. Okay, so don't ballpark it. Give me the exact number. How many countries have you been to?
31.
Well done. I love it. Okay.
Thank you.
So here's my follow-up question. You've been to 31 countries all over the world. What was the craziest moment or experience that you encountered in your travels?
Oof. Well,
you could be uncensored. No one's the judge-free zone.
No, it's okay. Well, I had like this amazing trip when I was 17 years old. I went to Africa to volunteer. I went to teach English to babies on kindergarten, and I went to babysit babies also. So it was a pretty amazing trip for me. I remember it was 42 days in Africa. It was the most risky adventure I've taken. Like, seriously, I just remember about Africa, and like somehow I just feel like I need to go back. It was really hard because, well, a lot of obstacles were there. You're going through a new a new continent, a new country, new culture, traditions. No, I remember well that I was in a fight just because my idea of justice was another idea there, and I was in a fight because there was a teacher hitting a baby on the back, and she was bleeding, and I was like, hey, stop. And the problem was with me, not with the teacher. So I remember exactly what it felt just to be in another completely different reality. And it was amazing. I learned a lot. I did new friends all around the world. I felt in home, actually. Africa for me was feeling home. All these different circumstances that they also live, like babies with HIV. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have water. They don't have showers. No, and we all the volunteers, we came from a different reality. So we just adapt to what's going there. And it was amazing. So I would say Africa was the most magical trip I've had. It was Africa. I learned a lot and it was amazing. And I have 2 more places that I cry from gratitude of being there. I remember arriving to Machu Picchu in Peru.
Okay.
And crying a lot. Crying like, I don't believe I'm here, because I think it's important to say this, but I've been working a lot. And I'm very proud of myself to being working a lot. I don't remember having like a lot of vacations for myself. I really like to work. And when I have the time to travel, I really enjoy it because I have known so many weekends free on the year. So Machu Picchu was that moment that I say, this is my first trip that I financially did it by myself. This is amazing. And Israel. Last year I went to Jerusalem in Israel, and I remember crying of gratitude of being there. So yeah, amazing.
Wow. That's great. Okay. Africa, Machu Picchu, Jerusalem. Very
Jerusalem, cool. Yeah. And
yeah, 31 and counting.
Yeah.
So, very good. We are so happy to have you with Triton. Thank you for joining us. And I'm sure we're going to be doing this again.
Sure. Thank you very much for your time. Love you all.